When ordinary people are struck by lightning, they either perish or, if lucky, achieve a breakthrough in their cultivation. But this young man was chosen by the thunder god himself, bestowed with divine power. He could reduce anyone who dared defy him to ashes with a single thunderbolt, leaving them utterly obliterated. Possessing such unparalleled strength, he was ultimately betrayed by a conspiracy of 7 great sects. Stabbed in the back, he was forced to reincarnate into the body of the useless Wu Jun. He was reborn into a frail body, spending his days indulging in wine, women, and song, causing his internal energy to dissipate, leaving him beyond recovery. Thanks to the memories of his past life, Wu Jun attempted to cultivate the Thunder God's Gate technique. With his last ounce of strength, he finally restored the foundation of his inner power. From then on, he gradually opened all 9 blocked meridians. Combined with rigorous physical training, he soon recovered 1/10 of his former strength. His next goal is to seize the position of clan leader and use that power to exact revenge on the 7 great clans that betrayed him in his past life. He immediately sought out his brilliant younger brother, Mook, a master strategist. Despite his young age, Mook was a remarkably talented military advisor, and he devised a brilliant plan for Wu Jun: quell the pirate rebellion, reopen the sea routes, re-establish trade, and gain recognition for his achievements. The very next day, the 2 brothers were surveying the terrain. As soon as they reached the harbor, they unexpectedly encountered a ship of ferocious pirates. Long Bang Wu Jun, alone and with lightning speed, charged onto the enemy's ship, taking this opportunity to test the extraordinary new powers he had acquired. Indeed, with his exceptional agility and skill, he easily defeated one of them, sending him to his grave. Next, Wu Jun unleashed a furious lightning attack, wiping out the remaining pirates, causing an earth-shattering explosion that shook the heavens and earth. Just then, his younger brother, Dong Huan, arrived as reinforcement only to find pirates lying scattered everywhere. The first victory had been stolen by his older brother. However, Dong Huan still cheerfully congratulated his brother. Only San Jiang, the attendant, appeared extremely dissatisfied, unwilling to let his commander's achievements be taken by another. As soon as he had the chance, San Jiang immediately challenged Wu Jun, and he accepted. Surprisingly, even though he unleashed his full power in a deadly attack towards Vo Quan, it was like a mosquito biting stainless steel. Even his powerful punch, fueled with all his inner strength, was easily blocked by Vo Quan with a single hand. Then he was tossed aside like a rag doll. Completely overwhelmed by Vo Quan's absolute power, he conceded defeat, kneeling and begging Vo Quan to be his master. From that moment, Vo Quan decided to train the entire team, secretly devising a meticulous plan to gain everyone's trust. After many days at sea, they finally set foot back on land. There, Vo Quan unexpectedly reunited with his beautiful fiancée. He couldn't help but blame himself for foolishly rejecting her love in the past. That very night, Vo Quan sought out his younger brother, a military genius, to discuss their battle plan. Engrossed in their discussion, neither of them noticed that Vo Quan's fiancée is saying happened to be passing by and overheard their entire conversation. As fate would have it, those separated were brought together once more. She immediately pushed open the door and entered, declaring that she knew their entire plan. Isang firmly stated that she would use all of her family's resources and wealth to support Vo Quan in his fight to reclaim Long Hai Island. On the other side of the battle lines, the wicked pirates had already received intelligence reports. The next morning, at the crack of dawn, Vo Quan's ship was set to transport a large shipment. Filling him with glee, his cunning strategist proposed a plan. First, they would attack the fishermen's boats to divert the Baek Ga Gum Moon clan's forces. Amidst the chaos, they would send their elite force, the Fujin 3 Tigers, to ambush the cargo ship and plunder all the treasures. Believing their plan to be foolproof, they didn't anticipate that everything was already within the blind snail boy's predictions. The boy secretly alerted his allies to devise a counterplan. He was confident they would wipe out the pirates. The next morning, upon spotting a plume of black smoke billowing into the sky, a guard hastily reported to the commander. Indeed, the pirates' staged attack had successfully lured the White Dragon squad, prompting their immediate advance. Moments later, Vo Quan's ship received an urgent report. They were surrounded by the enemy. Mu Gun quickly approached her, offering comfort. "Don't be afraid. No matter how many of them there are, they can't defeat me. Isang turned around abruptly, annoyed, and muttered to Mugun, who said I was scared. As the leader of the upper district, I'm always ready for situations like this. Just try not to exaggerate. Faced with her resolute attitude, Mugun felt relieved and let out a laugh. It seems like you've changed a lot. Becoming the head of the upper district, your aura is completely different. Isang blushed, giggling softly. His smile made her think he was teasing her. A moment later, Mugun returned to his usual serious expression, drawing his sword and confidently saying, "Don't worry, I wasn't exaggerating or lying to you. I won't let them touch this ship. Just with one finger? Isn't this a bit of an over-exaggerated display of power?" On this side of the battle, the captain of the Sea Dragon warship began ordering his subordinates. Quickly, lower the smaller boats and attack the enemy ship. Kill them all. Leave no one alive, except for Sangbai's woman and her followers. But before the order could be carried out, the opposing ship suddenly unleashed a tremendous amount of energy. Immediately after, the Sea Dragon's bow was severely damaged. Yet, strangely, the ship remained stable on the sea. Jia Gan angrily roared, "What in the world is going on?" Mugan lightly landed on the Sea Dragon warship. He greeted them sarcastically. "I was planning to blow you all away with just one move. As expected of the flagship, your skills are quite impressive, but it's nothing to worry about. Sooner or later, you will all die by my hand." His words were filled with unwavering confidence as, making Gaiak Gal furious. "Damn it, that brat should have died from chi deviation a long time ago. I've never witnessed such terrifying power in Mu Jim." Immediately noticing Gaiak Gal's anxiety, the Fuqian triad stepped forward and ordered, "Stand back, Captain. He's not someone to be trifled with." Oh, so the master finally decides to show himself. Nakin and Sanjiang calmly observed the two boats gradually approach. Well, two ships are coming. Sanjiang, I suggest we take the ship on the right. Nakin replied, "First come, first serve." With that, both of them leaped onto the smaller boat of the Sea Dragon ship. On the warship, Mugun and the Fuqian triad were still interrogating each other about their backgrounds, not forgetting to add threats. "I see. You are Baek Mugun, the eldest son of the Baeksor clan. Scum like you, trying to play the hero and save the damsel. You think you're worthy? You dare defy us, the Fuqian triad? You've got guts." Wu Jun, tired of their incessant babbling, immediately cut them off. "Enough talk. Let's fight." Wu Jun's arrogance infuriated the leader of the Fuqian triad. Unable to contain the rage burning within him, he swung his massive greatsword, half the size of a man, straight at Wu Jun. While a fierce battle raged on one side, on the other, No Viam continued his quiet search. He asked the locals about the whereabouts of the Hai Long Bang. A fishing boat stopped, and the fisherman on board replied with a cheerful expression, "Hai Long Bang? Never heard of them. Haven't seen them." Finished, the fishermen resumed their fishing. Two soldiers voiced their suspicions. "Not here. What's going on?" "We clearly received a report that the Hai Long Bang were attacking in this area. Could we have been deceived? Or is this a trap?" Yun Huan gazed out at the vast ocean, his eyes distant, drifting along with the gentle ripples of the waves. In his private room, Mook was meticulously analyzing the age strategy for his boss. "I'm currently considering the Baekrang team, but this aligns perfectly with the original plan." Mook smiled slightly. It seemed the young genius had uncovered a new clue. Yun Huan stood apart from the crowd, lost in thought. If we were misled by false information, he mused, the only culprit capable of such deception will be someone from the Hei Ryongbang. Wait, if that's the case. Suddenly, the truth flashed in his mind. He quickly turned and shouted a warning to his teammates. The Hei Ryongbang is targeting the Jie Sangbang's ship. Turn the ship around immediately. His crew, hearing the urgent command, obeyed instantly. Yun Huan looked out towards the distant horizon. Anxiety and worry surged within him. He tormented himself. I was a fool to fall into the Hai Long Bang's trap. Meanwhile, Mu OC was still focused on analyzing the battle situation. Actually, I sent up a signal flare to lure the Baekringium team there first. By now, they must have already clashed. Thus, the outcome of the battle is clear. At the same time, on the Hai Long Bang's warship, Jikryong saw Yun Huan's warship aggressively approach, making him restless and anxious. What's going on? Why did the Baekringium arrive so quickly? Our plan was to use the fishermen's fishing boats as bait and to obstruct them. Meanwhile, the two guards on this side were equally anxious. Why are those damn dogs showing up now? Yun Huan shook his head, his face filled with utter bewilderment. I'm I'm not sure either. In a flash, he returned to his usual stern expression. But I cannot tolerate these pirates running rampant any longer, acting so brazenly. Hunt them down. Leave no survivors. Sensing imminent danger, Jilung hastily ordered a retreat, but it was too late. A panicked subordinate rushed to him with devastating news. Our ship is caught in a fishing net. We can't move, boss. Jilung erupted in fury, cursing his men as useless fools. Just then, fierce fighting erupted at the bow of the ship. Damn them. Seemingly out of nowhere, Mugun appeared on the High Lawn. With a single sword strike, he took down a formidable opponent before the horrified eyes of countless onlookers. This act enraged Jilung's two lieutenants. Their boss had been defeated with just one MO. Things were not that simple. Witnessing his senior brother fall, he couldn't contain his rage. The youngest brother, burning with murderous intent, was determined to avenge his elder. The remaining two tried to intervene, but failed. He lunged forward, unleashing the devil's soul-devouring palm technique to finish off Wu Jun. Once struck by this attack, no living being could escape death. You think I will succumb? Wu Jun smiled contemptuously. With a single, swift, and decisive sword stroke, he successfully neutralized his opponent's deadly technique. He was stunned for a moment, unable to believe his eyes. Seizing the opportunity, Wu Jun swiftly counterattacked. A series of sharp sword strikes left his opponent no chance to react. He collapsed, lifeless. The last one, consumed by rage, lost all reason. I will tear you to shreds, he roared in fury. You will pay dearly for what you have done. He attacked frantically, unleashing one move after another. Wu Jun calmly channeled his magic, creating a protective barrier around himself. Then, he delivered a fatal blow, piercing his opponent's stomach with his sword. He gasped his last words and collapsed, lifeless. The death of one of the three notorious Fujian terrors sent the surviving one into a state of sheer terror. He frantically searched for any means of escape. That guy was a true monster. Survival was the top priority now. With that thought, he turned and ran for his life. But he had only taken a few steps when Wu Jun grabbed him by the collar and pulled him back for questioning. Where are you going in such a hurry? Wu Jun dragged him out into the open sea, his presence intimidating. I think you'll make excellent bait to lure in a bigger fish. Fierce waves crashed against the ship with increasing intensity, making the man's face pale with fear. From the other side of the ship, the girl, Yun Sang, silently observed everything that was unfolding. She couldn't help but be astonished. Wu Jun alone had managed to defeat 3 masters from the renowned Hailong rankings. It was unbelievable. Horror was etched on her face, causing her handmaiden beside her to worry incessantly. My lady, it's too dangerous. Please be careful, she pleaded repeatedly. Isa seemed completely oblivious, her eyes fixed on the young man. Standing on the boat across the way, she breathed a sigh of relief. Thank goodness. It really is young master. He's truly become a completely different person. Meanwhile, Jia Kriong's boat, in a desperate attempt to escape the relentless pursuit, had ruthlessly destroyed the boats of nearby fishermen. Watching the boat disappear in the distance, Nabanga was approached by a soldier who asked, Master Yang Hon, should we continue the pursuit? Yang Hon shook his head and ordered his soldiers. No, let's help the fishermen in need first. Yang Hon pensively watched the ship vanish over the horizon. The ambush and surprise attack. Our losses this time are not insignificant. Jia Kriong, the flagship of the He Ryong gang, with almost no significant losses. Yun Hon ordered the remaining men on the ship. After successfully rescuing the fishermen's boats, we will head straight for the Jiashongbang ship. Everything seemed clear, yet the young man's mind was a tangled mess, fixated on a single thought. Everything was too perfect, making him unable to believe that this was just a random coincidence due to his own mood. After receiving the information from the old butler, Gan Hyo immediately flew into a rage. What nonsense are you talking about? You useless fools. You were defeated so easily by those Beck, GA Geometry Mun scoundrels. The old butler trembled as he reported. I regret to say, but it's the truth, sir. Both the ferocious Black Dragon and Fukian No. 3 ships were defeated by the Beck, GA Geometry Mun's young master. Hearing this shocking news, sending Gan Hyo into a thunderous rage, he furiously smashed the object in his hand, cursing incessantly. Damn it, those renowned Fujian masters, defeated by a spoiled brat, a mere child. I'll lead the Dragon's Breath squad to the Becca Sword clan to settle the score. Immediately, The old steward hastily interrupted, respectfully adding, "Forgive my interruption, master, but the Dragon's Breath squad has been almost entirely annihilated by the Bekka sword clan." Under the Bekka sword clan's fierce assault, Ganhyo's face instantly changed. He did a complete 180, though still burning with rage. As clan leader, he needed to maintain his composure. His swift change in demeanor left the old steward helplessly watching. "A wise decision, master." Ganhyo chuckled, his words laced with hidden meaning. "After all I need to do is sit back. We just need to wait for things to calm down. Because no one can set foot on the Hailong archipelago without my permission." After the match concluded, Vuquan walked over to ISA's boat to speak with her. "You've worked hard. Once again, I sincerely thank you for participating in my plan." Vuquan expressed his deepest gratitude to ISA. ISA politely bowed her head in return. "It was nothing. I have also received great kindness from you. If it weren't for you." Vuquan hesitantly asked ISA for a favor. "If so, may I ask you for a small favor?" Hearing this, ISA was overjoyed. The joy was clearly visible on her face. "Yes, of course. What is it?" Vuquan politely bowed his head and stated his purpose. "It's nothing, Major. I just need to borrow a small boat. Right now, we will head straight to the Sea Dragon Guild's hideout." Yi Sang was stunned, unable to believe what she had just heard. Even after Yi Sang recounted the entire incident to Yi Huan, he was just as astonished as she was. "Is what you're saying true?" Yi Sang confirmed with a nod, then slowly recounted the entire story from beginning to end. "The Black Dragon fleet suddenly ambushed our ship, but fortunately, young Master Mu Gun and the White Wolf sword team bravely came to our aid and eliminated all of them. Not only that, but they also captured the Black Dragon captain as a hostage." This made Ian Huan so shocked that he gasped aloud. "Just with 3 people? Mu Gun, Baiyal Samjiang, and Na Bang? While I, along with my mighty White Wolf sword team, couldn't even defeat a small army. Yet they were able to wipe out the entire Black Dragon fleet, including the Fujin, 3 tigers? Then, we're Mu Gun and the other 2 right now. Yesang ansvaret trutfully. The young master has departed with 2 soldiers, escorting Captain Black Dragon. They've already left. He asked me to relay a message to Master Yin, Unwan, and the White Wolf sword team. When everyone arrives, we will advance together to the Sea Dragon Gang's hideout. When Master Yin, Unwan, and the White Wolf sword team get here, please relay this message to them." Those were Mu Wan's exact words to Yonsang. Initially, she adamantly refused because this mission is incredibly dangerous. However, Mu Wan persistently persuaded her. "My lady is deeply grateful for your concern, but I must eliminate those wicked pirates. We cannot delay even a single day. Please excuse me." With that, Mu Wan resolutely turned and walked away. Despite Yonsang's desperate attempts to hold him back, he remained unmoved because he had only one unwavering determination: to annihilate the pirates. She could only offer him a few words of caution. "Mia unga sangbang. We'll always have faith in you and stand by your side." Yun Tang trailed off mid-sentence, but Mu Gun understood what she meant to say. His final glance at her was filled with lingering remorse. "I'm grateful for your devotion. Only now do I realize how much I regret leaving you." Yun Tang sadly recounted everything. As soon as he locates the He Ryong Gang's hideout, he'll send word with the carrier pigeon. Mu Gun instructed him to return to the He Sang Bang defense headquarters to prepare for battle. Mo Gok was in his room when a pigeon suddenly flew in, filling him with joy. "It's Mu Gun's pigeon." He succeeded. Mo Gok quickly untied the letter from the pigeon's leg. Inside were heartfelt words from his leader. "Just as you predicted, the Hyuk Ryong Gang's attack on the Unjie Sang Bang was a complete failure. Not only that, we also captured a captain from the Haryong group. Through interrogation and torture, we've gathered crucial information about their hideout. Hidden deep underground within the Haryong archipelago lies the secret base of the Haryong group, known as the Wujung Jaihyunjin, Foggy Phantom Formation. Human nature easily changes when faced with the line between life and death. It's rumored that the captains can't enter the formation themselves, but require a guide. However, I have complete faith in Jijiang's abilities and knowledge. Therefore, I will lead Nabong and Bixen, along with Jiang there, to verify if it truly is the Haryong group's base. When the Bakrang sword unit returns, relay my intentions to Yang Hon and Uncle. Then order them to prepare for battle. Don't worry too much. Both you and I have full faith in this strategy. Mu-Ok looked towards the distant sea, silently sending a message in her heart to Mugun. Yes, I believe you will succeed, brother. The ship continued to glide smoothly across the vast ocean. Inside the ship's cabin, Mugun, Nabe, and Sang Jiang were diligently practicing martial arts. Let's stop here for today. Thank you, young master, for your dedicated guidance. Nabang and Sang Jiang simultaneously expressed their deep gratitude to Mugun. He responded magnanimously. Very good. I've noticed significant progress in both of you. Both of them respectfully replied. That's thanks to young master's teachings. Indeed, that is true. Mugun looked at them meaningfully. This past period has been enough for him to understand both of your true capabilities. In truth, we all possess formidable martial arts skills. No matter how numerous the unruly pirates of the Sea Dragon Gang are, they will be no match for us. However, neither of you has yet reached the realm of a true master. If you wish to attain that level, we need to find martial art styles that suit your abilities. He then made a proposal to both of them. This is a reward worthy of your perilous mission. I will teach you both a special martial art. I expect you to train diligently until you master its essence and become proficient in this technique. Nabong and Sanjiang were overjoyed. They exchanged glances, their eyes shining with delight. The ship continued to sail forward, cutting through the waves. It gradually entered an area shrouded in a dense fog, limiting visibility. Mugun exclaimed, "The fog is incredibly thick." Sanjiang nodded in agreement. Just like the captain said, Mugun immediately ordered Sanjiang, "Get ready." Sanjiang went straight to the cargo hold, where Hyukryong was kept, the sole survivor from Haryong's ship. Sanjiang roared, "Get out. Time to work." He grabbed Hyukryong by the collar and pulled him up, making him tremble with fear. "Why, yes. Anything you need." At the same time, Haryong's ship was lost amidst a thick fog. "What happened? Captain Jikryong, you boasted so loudly before, swearing to hunt down and annihilate the Beck GA Geometry Mon. But now your men are gone, and you cowardly run away like this?" The one yelling at Jikryong was none other than Gang Sammy Ion, a notorious blood sword demon. Jikryong was still reeling from the surprise attack, and now being scolded so harshly, he trembled in fear. "You truly are a useless and shameless coward." Sammy Ion gritted his teeth in anger and rebuked him. "Because of you, I had to abandon my work and come here. Damn it, I was so close to succeeding." Suddenly, a brilliant burst of fireworks exploded in the night sky, catching the attention of both of them. Beep. Jilong immediately recognized it as Captain Hyukryong's unique signal. He quickly ordered the ship to head towards the source of the signal. Standing at the bow of the ship, Captain Hyukryong frantically waved his arms. Hey, over here." Jilong approached with a look of astonishment on his face. "Captain Hyukryong? Weren't you captured by the Beck GA Geometry Mon clan?" Hyukryong hurriedly threw his torch onto the deck and stammered a reply. Well, yes, that did happen. But I risked my life and used all my strength to escape from them." Yes, that's exactly what happened." Hyukryong babbled incoherently, sweat pouring down his face. He knew that even the slightest hesitation, and Mugun, standing behind him, would immediately send him to meet the Grim Reaper. Mugun's eyes were as sharp as knives, filled with intense killing intent. "Keep acting, or I'll feed you to the sharks." Jilong nodded and recounted his own story. "Well done. I was also pursued by them. Escape seems to be our only option. Let me guide you to the illusionary mid-level formation." And so, the two boats, one large and one small, glided along, emerging from the thick fog. Basking in the warm sunlight once more, Mugun smiled with satisfaction. "We're in." Hyukryong glanced at the three of them, his eyes filled with both contempt and fear. Sanjiang whispered into Mugun's ear, "Young master, that pirate." Mugun replied coldly, "He will betray us. I anticipated this." His eyes gleamed with confidence, the demeanor of someone who held all the cards. Nabang spoke up, worried, "But then we'll be trapped here." Mugun stood tall, reassuring his companions. "Don't worry. I've planned for everything." He immediately focused his internal energy. Just as Mugun predicted, Hyukryong revealed the whole truth to his two accomplices. "Captain Jikryong, save me. That's the Becca Sword School ship." In a flash, the three of them destroyed the small boat, leaping onto the mighty warship of the Hei Ryongbang. Hyukryong's fate remains unknown, but perhaps he became a feast for the sharks in the deep sea. Upon seeing Mugun's face, Captain Jik Ryong's face turned pale. He didn't dare to move a muscle. The three of them landed softly on the deck. Mu Gun immediately gave the order. Leave no survivors. Na Bang and San Jiang obeyed the command, rushing to attack the surrounding soldiers. Jik Ryong asked hesitantly, trembling, Is that Baek Mu Gun, the one who slaughtered all the soldiers on Hyuk Ryong's ship? Sammy Ion stepped forward confidently, intentionally bumping into Jik Ryong as he passed, as if to imply that he was nothing but a coward. Unfortunately for Captain Jik Ryong, that despicable name, the pampered young master of the renowned Baekga sword school, will soon suffer a crushing defeat at the hands of the infamous blood demon sword. By my hand, Sammy Ion. Sammy Ion drew his deadly twin blades, two sharp sides connected by a long, sinuous chain that snaked like a venomous serpent. He brandished the twin blades, showcasing his skills before his opponent. Mu Gun nodded in approval, seeing that he was indeed a formidable expert. Sammy Ion twirled his blades with a sneer and spoke. I've heard rumors that you defeated all the soldiers of the Black Dragon ship. With just this chain alone. Can the young master withstand my ultimate technique? Sammy Ion suddenly launched his attack. No one knew what happened. Right before everyone's eyes, a large section of the ship was destroyed. Gang and Sammy Ion began their battle with a display of flashy swordsmanship, or rather, more accurately, a sharp whirlwind created by the chain twin blades. A magnificent technique. Secret technique. Vermilion bird blood sword. 18th soul seizing form. Try and block this. With a roar, Sammy Ion swung his blade, razor-sharp strikes tearing through the air towards Mu Gun. The terrifying power shook the entire ship violently, as if it were about to shatter. Mu Gun immediately summoned his own power, neutralizing the ferocious onslaught. Sammy Ion relentlessly pressed his attack, giving no quarter, allowing his opponent no chance to breathe. The barrage of blows was suffocating, a relentless storm of steel. One moment of carelessness from Mu Gun would cost him dearly. Suddenly, Sammy Ion unleashed a volley of sharp iron chains, ensnaring Mu Gun in a tight enclosure. He intended to bind and capture his opponent alive with this move. Sammy Ion smugly believed he had his target locked down, and a triumphant smirk spread across his face. But his celebration was premature. You seem a bit too confident. The words barely left his lips before he yanked hard on the chains, sending the sharp blades at each end, hurtling towards Mu Gun like lightning bolts, ready to end his life. Mu Gun sensed the imminent, deadly danger closing in. A voice called out from behind. Nabong and Baek Sangjiang, on the verge of a fierce clash, paused to heed the warning. That young master is very dangerous, Baek. Mu One channeled his inner strength, leaping into the air, to evade the sharp blade. This chain sickle is not only unpredictable and versatile in its reach, but also incredibly cumbersome and difficult to control. It was proving a challenging weapon to counter. Despite repeated failures, Samyang Rangbium remained undeterred. He looked down at his opponent with disdain, as if at a blade of grass. How to take him down? He pondered. His movements seem quite solid, but they're just child's play. He can't stay airborne forever. Sooner or later, he'll have to come down. I'll crush him the moment his feet touch the ground. With that thought, Sammy John readied himself, his sharp twin pig sticker blades in hand. He planned to send Mu One to the altar to admire naked chickens. Wu Jun, in the moment he touched down, masterfully channeled his inner strength, landing with unwavering grace and precision. He saw no need to waste his precious time on these insignificant opponents. Let me see how the Chonggang martial arts and my thunder gods soar have recovered. Wu Jun became the radiant focal point of the night, as swirling electricity gathered and pulsed in his palm, growing ever stronger. The blinding light intensified to the point that everyone froze, stunned in their tracks. This was the ultimate technique, the lightning flying sword. Wu Jun channeled the thunder into a lightning rod, then launched it directly into Sammy Ion's stomach. He could only let out a single enraged curse before the lightning rod pierced through his abdomen, leaving a gaping hole. The remaining enemies scattered in panicked chaos, desperately trying to evade the fatal attack. As his underlings gaped in utter astonishment, Jaws Agape, the infamous blood sword demon, met his demise, sent to the underworld on a dark path. All the cameras recording the event captured the scene, immortalizing the horrifying moment that left viewers wide-eyed and speechless. What just happened? What unfolded before our eyes? That master was defeated by a single, swift sword strike from a distance. Such terrifying martial arts have never been witnessed before. Only Captain Long remained on the boat, but he was gravely wounded and completely powerless. A true man stands tall between heaven and earth. If victory is impossible, then I seek peace. The old man knelt, pleading desperately. I've lost. I surrender. I admit defeat. I beg your mercy. Spare this old man's life. Wu Jun looked at him with disdain. Have you ever shown mercy to the pleas of innocent people, begging for their lives? The notorious Captain Long fell silent upon hearing those words. He had no excuses left for his actions. Vo Quan and his two trusted lieutenants boldly declared they would level and completely overturn this land. Striding forward with an overbearing CEO aura, Vo Quan coldly stated, "For far too long, you have taken countless innocent lives, the lives of innocent people, and yet you believe your own life is so precious? From the moment I set foot here, I never intended to let anyone leave alive." Unexpectedly, his words couldn't sway the stubborn old captain. The captain was enraged. He launched a desperate sneak attack, hoping to take Vo Quan down with him. "You bastard! Who gave you the right to run rampant here?" The result was a pathetic and unacceptable self-destruction. His subordinates watched, ashamed for their captain. Vo Quan didn't even lift a finger. He calmly pulled an ion pellet from his pocket. An ancient manuscript appears. It is the legendary blood sword soul snatching technique, 18th level. Although this martial art doesn't harm a user, unlike poisonous or other evil martial arts. While the young man diligently studies the strange book, his two bodyguards unleash a collective beatdown, landing a series of blows on the remaining thugs. Suddenly, Mu Gan's gaze falls upon an old map. Isn't this a relic of the heavenly sage He Qion? It must be. These bandits must have stolen it. Mu Gan feels a surge of excitement. This is where the 7 treasures that protect the world are hidden, along with 10 ultimate martial arts techniques and a legacy of heavenly sage He Qion. If I can master these secrets, I will possess unparalleled power. Unbelievable. He calls over his 2 subordinates who are busy punishing the thugs. Nabong, Beck, Xian Jiang, I have a task for you two. Moments later, the 3 continued their journey in the small boat, searching for the entrance to the hidden cave, a place rumored to be the lair of a deceptive organization. No, a dangerous band of thieves. Beck Songjiang, his face etched with worry, spoke up. Are you sure about this? In contrast to Beck Songjiang's anxiety, Na Bang responded calmly. Who do you think I am? Everything will be fine. Beck Mugun began assigning tasks to the 2. You 2 quickly returned to the Maritime Defense Department. I have important matters to attend to. When you arrive at the Maritime Defense Department, bring the White Wolf Sword unit to assist me. Beck Songjiang broke out in a cold sweat. Despite following Haeryong Bang this far, they still hadn't figured out the way back. However, Beck Mugun had his reasons for this order. Beck Mugun said in a low voice, Thunder God creation. His divine eyes seemed to pierce through everything, seeing all paths clearly. Under the extraordinary power of his divine eyes, a path instantly appeared, leading directly to a mound of earth rising from the vast ocean. It seems like in that direction, the flow of the ocean current looks unusual. If so, they must be down there. Beck Mugun focused all his attention on a cave entrance, located right at the water's edge. There, the swirling water churned violently, forming a powerful vortex. If one looked closely, it seemed like there was a shimmering light emanating from within the cave. It must be from bioluminescent fireflies. Even if one searched the entire island, they wouldn't be able to find it. Beck Mugun, without hesitation, removed his clothes, revealing his strong physique, slick with seawater. Then, he resolutely jumped off the deck of the boat, diving deep into the current towards the strange cave. Meanwhile, at the Maritime Defense Department, Beck Sanjiang had returned in time to report the news, just as Mu Wan had instructed. His uncle, Beck Chengjiang, was utterly astonished by the news. You're saying you destroyed the entire Black Dragon Guild fleet, and the Hidden Dragon Guild as well? Meanwhile, Shim Irang, the girl with the myrtle flower in her hair, was frantically searching for Mu Wan. Not seeing him anywhere, she anxiously bombarded Book Sanjiang with questions. Sanjiang reassured Irang. Brother Mu Wan said he had important business to attend to, so he stayed behind. He found a secret path through the treacherous cliffs and told us that once we arrive, we must quickly lead the White Wolf sword team to reinforce him. They were engrossed in discussing the plan, completely unaware that Mu-Ok had quietly appeared. The boy spoke with certainty. It seems like Brother Mu-Wan is preparing to engage the Sea Dragon Guild. Surely the Sea Dragon Guild is off guard, because they are completely unaware of our movements. This is the perfect opportunity to launch a surprise attack and defeat them. As Baek Chung-Jiang was about to speak, seeing his nephew's reckless plan to inform their clan, he immediately scolded him loudly. On what grounds do you dare make such a dangerous decision? This is unbelievable. Yang Hon quickly intervened, stopping his father and making the final decision himself. White Wolf Sword Unit, immediately follow the young master's orders and attack. Having this cousin around is truly exhilarating. Baek Johnny's face paled in terror. Young Hon, you can't make such a hasty decision, just based on the words of Mu-Gun. Young Hon responded firmly. Brother Mu-Gun has accomplished what even the Maritime Defense Department couldn't. Brother Mu-Gun is the one who leads the Becca sword set. With just his word, I completely trust his judgment. Finishing his words, he turned and commanded the White Wolf sword unit. He urgently ordered the ship to depart immediately, leaving his elderly father standing there, speechless and choked with unspoken words. The father knew he couldn't stop his stubborn son and let out a heavy sigh. Yonghwan, I just hope you don't make the same mistakes I did. Mu-Ok noticed the unusual expression on her uncle's face, but she chose to remain silent. Meanwhile, Wu Jun followed the faint light in the cave, struggling to surface from the water. He brushed back his wet hair. Before him was a cave as dark as ink, as gloomy as a Manchester United fan's cave for the past 15 years. Deeper inside, he saw an incredibly solid stone door blocking the path. He carefully examined the symbols on the door for a moment, then thought to himself that he seemed to have come to the right place. Baek Wu Jun surmised that the pirates were definitely hiding behind this door. But instead of uttering the legendary phrase, "Open Sesame," he decided to use his brute strength to failing to force it open with brute strength. He tapped into his profound inner energy. Focusing all his extraordinary power, he strained with every ounce of his being. His breath came in ragged gasps, but the door remained as unyielding as reinforced concrete. It didn't budge an inch, seemingly impossible to open. He placed his hand on the stone door, sensing its immobility, and thought to himself, there must be a trap here. He activated his divine eyes of Thunder God, meticulously scanning his surroundings, every nook and cranny. Finally, he found a clue. The opening mechanism was located on the two stone sea monster statues guarding both sides of the entrance. Wu Jun tried turning the head of one of the sea monster statues. The mechanism was instantly activated, causing the door to slowly open. So that's it. What an ingenious and interesting trap, he exclaimed. Looking at the slightly open door, Wu Jun gave a knowing smile. Hai Tian Shangren, such a noble and peculiar name. What secrets could it be hiding that required such elaborate arrangements? Venturing deeper inside, Wu Jun stumbled upon a vast, hidden chamber. A staircase led down to an ornately carved shield inlaid with gleaming gold. Wu Jun stared at the shield, his face a mixture of bewilderment and curiosity. Beside the shield sat a mysterious red box, radiating an aura of ancient secrets. Inside, he found a small cloth pouch and a neatly folded letter. It contained the supreme martial arts techniques of the Haitian Shinmin sect and the precious inner core of the Golden Armor sect. These treasures were passed down from the Haitian sect to the Golden Armor Flying Heaven sect and the Golden Armor Flying Heaven Society. The secrets were entrusted to future generations with the hope that disciples would master and perfect the ultimate martial arts of the Haitian Shinmen sect and use this extraordinary power for righteous purposes. Haitian Fong, the 9th generation elder of the Haitian Shinmen sect, held the small cloth pouch containing the treasure. Although the inner core within pulsed with vital energy, it seemed to have no effect on Wu Jun's raging thunderous energy. Finders keepers, Wu Jun thought to himself, I'll hold on to this for now. It might come in handy someday. Wu Jun strapped the gleaming golden shield to his arm and continued his journey to become Captain America, the savior of the world. Wu Jun thought to himself, Master Hai Tian Shangrun, rest assured, all the relics you left behind I will use for righteous purposes for the greater good. This shield is unexpectedly light. Just a gentle flick, and I can feel its incredible strength and sturdiness. This long sword is the embodiment of power itself. Combined with my masterful swordsmanship, it will ward off any danger. Now, let me witness the power of the golden armor flying heaven style. He stepped into the center of the secret chamber and hurled the shield towards the wall. The shield spun like a propeller, smashing into the stone wall before flying back to Wu Jun's hand. He smiled with satisfaction. Excellent. This will indeed be a powerful ally. With this unexpected power, in the upcoming battle against the Hai Long gang, I can charge forward and wipe them all out. But even without any of this, my power is more than enough to crush them all. But this thing could prove to be a slight nuisance. Mu Gun left the hidden chamber. The mere thought of having to swim back to the boat filled him with dread. This battle shield was too cumbersome to carry on his back. Suddenly, while fiddling with the shield, he accidentally pressed a hidden button. The shield suddenly shrunk, transforming into a tightly fitting glove. How convenient! Mu Gun exclaimed joyfully. This is a true treasure. Not long after, at the Maritime Defense Department, rescue forces were urgently mobilized. Mu Gun continuously scanned the sea surface with a searchlight. Suddenly, someone shouted, "I see the boat," and pointed into the distance. Mu Gun, standing on a small raft, lightly leaped onto the deck of the boat and smiled. Perfect timing. Yong Huan and his troops hastily bowed in greeting. All soldiers of the White Wolf Sword Unit prepared to await orders from the young master. Mu Gun respectfully clasped his hands in return. Brave warriors of the White Wolf Sword, I express my deepest gratitude for standing by my side. The time has come to end this prolonged war. They responded in unison. Understood. Meanwhile, the leader of the bandits, Ganio, began to feel a sense of foreboding. He growled at his subordinate. Has the time-shifting ship not returned yet, old man? The subordinate trembled as he replied. The demon sword slayer and the time-shifting ship engaged in a fierce battle. That was the last report I received. Ganio silently assessed the situation. That brat, he's busy, searching for the relic left behind by the heavenly sage, Hei Chion. There's no need to worry about that kid. Even if he's a formidable expert, he's no match for me on this sea dragon plateau. This is going to be interesting. Speak of the devil, and he shall appear. Suddenly, a horn blared from the watchtower. A piercing emergency alarm shrieked. The White Wolf Sword are attacking us. Large ships began crashing violently into each other, sending the pirates into a panicked frenzy. Baek Mu Gun and the valiant White Wolf Sword warriors leaped ashore, launching a fierce attack. Leading the charge, Baek Mu Gun roared, "I will personally deal with their leader. The rest are yours." With that, he moved like lightning, leaping onto the watchtowers. Near the enemy leader, the leader's lieutenant trembled in fear, exclaiming in terror, "The White Wolf Sword! How did they? How did they get in here?" Gan Hyo, his face darkened with rage, roared furiously. "It's come to this. I'll handle this myself. It's do or die. I'm tired of this pointless duel. Only one of us will walk away from this alive. Him or me. I will end this boring fight right now." Despite his subordinates' desperate pleas and attempts to dissuade him, urging him to flee before the Baekga sword school arrives, Jeon Hyo, with his towering pride, refused to entertain the thought of cowardly retreat. He was prepared for a direct confrontation, a fight to the death. He roared, "I am a man. How can you suggest I run away? What nonsense are you spouting? What drivel are you talking about? I will give my life to protect the Haeryong gang, the place to which I've dedicated my entire life. I will not allow myself to be defeated so easily. You damn brat, young master of the Baekga sword school, I will send you to meet the Grim Reaper, down to the Yellow Springs to join your ancestors." With that, he pointed and bellowed at his subordinates. "Get out of my way." His men, terrified out of their wits, scattered in all directions, scrambling for their lives. Suddenly, Baek Mu Gun leaped onto the roof of the bandits' headquarters, sword in one hand and shield in the other. He charged forward heroically, like a jet plane crashing into the twin towers. Suddenly, a powerful wave of killing intent washed over him. Jeon Ho stood in his path, ready to meet the challenge. His sharp blade slashed down on Mu Gun's shield, forcing him to grit his teeth and brace against the impact. The forceful block sent sparks flying as the blade scraped against the shield. Jeon Ho looked at Mu Gun with piercing eyes and asked, "You are Baek Mu Gun?" Mugun replied, and you must be Jian Ho. This should end here. Mugun used his shield to counterattack, pushing his opponent back a few steps. Jian Ho, filled with fighting spirit, swung his blade and charged forward. Yes, let's end this now. The two continued to clash, exchanging a flurry of blows. Swords and blades sliced through the air, like deadly greetings. Jian Ho poured all his strength into his blade. Then he suddenly launched himself into the air, crashing down with a powerful attack that sent Vo Quan flying. He hastily retreated, keeping a safe distance as he prepared to unleash his ultimate technique. Vo Quan quickly assessed his opponent's strength. This guy was clearly much stronger than that fake bloodsword demon. Facing such a skilled opponent, he couldn't afford to be careless. He had to end this battle quickly. Ganhyo seized the opportunity and charged forward like a raging bull. He roared as he ran. You think I'll let you run wild here? Vo Quan instantly transformed into Captain America, wielding his shield. The shield collided with Ganhyo's blade, causing him to lose his focus. Immediately after, Vo Quan unleashed his ultimate technique, Moonlight Extreme Sword. A surge of powerful lightning energy gathered, strong enough to incinerate everything. Ganhyo hurriedly used his blade to block the attack, but he forgot that the blade could also conduct electricity. As a result, both Ganhyo and his blade were sent flying into the air. He soared through the air pathetically. Before dying, Ganhyo weakly muttered, "These childish tricks only tickle me." As soon as he finished speaking, the old man finally realized he was in a tough spot. This fight was going south fast. He'd run his mouth, talked big, and now he was paying the price. This move was a mistake. Can I take that back? Can I have a do-over? But before he could beg for forgiveness, Wu Jun seized the opportunity and pressed his attack. He unleashed a move that sent Ganhyo Fancy flying through the air like a kite with a broken string. He stomped his foot, propelling himself upward as he raised his sword high. He executed the secret technique, Thunder God's Ascending Steps. The power of the move was earth-shattering, echoing across the entire region. Every soldier, both ally and enemy, gaped in awe, their jaws dropping to the floor. What was that? What in the world just happened? As everyone got a clearer look, they saw Ganhyo, impaled by Wu Jun's sword like a donut. He coughed up a mouthful of blood, but managed to utter a hateful curse. "You bastard! You damn monster! But I won't die alone." With that, he gathered the last of his strength for one final attack. Charging straight towards Vo Quan, he intended to push them both into the endless plains, but he severely underestimated his opponent's strength. Vo Quan swiftly threw his shield, sending it flying straight into Gung Hyo's vanguard. This move not only sent the opponent on a one-way trip to the afterlife, but also completely shattered their formation. Immediately after, Vo Quan swung his sword, unleashing a wave of energy that wiped out the remaining enemies. As if still not satisfied, Vo Quan raised his blade towards the sky, drawing lightning into it and creating an earth-shattering formation. A technique of unparalleled power, Moonlight Zenith Sword. Moonlight over the world. He channeled all his power into the sword's energy, literally turning Gung Hyo into human shish kebab. The fatal blow pierced the ground, shattering the arena floor. This was a true case of what goes around comes around, karma sparing no one. It was no longer a rescue mission, but a farewell ceremony. Vo Quan landed beside him and said coldly, "Even a final wish before death is a luxury for a wretch like you. Get out of my territorial waters immediately." All through the long, agonizing night, the battle at the Maritime Defense Headquarters raged fiercely. Those who remained behind were filled with anxiety and worry, restless about the fate of Baekmu Gun and his comrades. Thank heavens, just as they felt suffocated by the endless wait for news from the distant sea, the resounding cheers of soldiers suddenly erupted, signaling that Baekmu Gun's warship had returned victorious. Everyone was overwhelmed with joy and relief. The ship grew larger as it approached the shore, and Baekmu Gun stood proudly at the bow. Un Cheon I wept tears of joy. Un Haisong rushed out to greet him. "Young master." The scene shifts to evening inside the brightly lit barracks. It turns out everyone is having a victory celebration. Countless delicacies and exotic dishes were laid out on the banquet table. Bichtron Ung stood up, raising his wine cup high. He boomed out in a powerful voice. "Everyone has endured much hardship. Oh, brave warriors of the Beikrang sword set, let us celebrate our glorious victory over the Hailong gang." He gestured towards Baekmu Gun and said to everyone with a smile, The one who deserves the most credit for this magnificent triumph is none other than our very own young master. Everyone agreed, raising their wine cups in unison. They cheered loudly. Indeed, receiving this enthusiastic support, Baek Mugun was overjoyed and proud. He raised his wine cup to join in the celebration. Baek Mugun humbly said, "Thank you all, but this victory was not achieved by my efforts alone, but by the unity and combined efforts of everyone. Trust in me and follow me." Accepting the sacrifice of blood and bone, the extraordinary efforts of all our soldiers have forged this great victory today. Hearing this, the three armies were filled with joy and admiration for the young general's demeanor. Baek Mugun continued, "Therefore, let us all bask in this glory together, and together remember and honor those warriors who bravely sacrificed themselves in this glorious battle." Then he suddenly shifted his tone, speaking playfully. "If we continue to be so long-winded, I fear we'll spoil the joyous atmosphere." Belly Loosener immediately shouted, "Everyone has fought hard. Now it's time to let loose and party." Everyone cheered, danced, and chanted in unison. Long live the eldest young master. Baek Mugun turned to chat with Ian Guan, the talented two-star general. Ian Guan smiled radiantly and replied, "For me, just one swing of my blade solves everything." Everyone was immersed in joyous celebration. But Uncle Bai Chonky wore an unusually melancholic and sad expression. Outside the room, Young stood there, her heart filled with anxiety and anticipation. Finally, she mustered the courage to open the door and step inside. Everyone was surprised by her sudden appearance. Yun Isang walked straight towards Baek Mugun, her gaze fixed on him. Mu Ok, standing between them, felt intimidated by the tense atmosphere. Beads of sweat formed on his forehead as he witnessed the awkward situation. Jun Yeosang suddenly bowed her head. With respectful words, she said, "Congratulations on your victorious return, young master Baek Mugun." Baek Mugun smiled in response. "Thank you, Mississippi." Seeing this, Bai Chonky quickly reciprocated. "Thank you." The banquet concluded, and the scene changed. Baek Mugun and Yun Isang stood together under the moonlight, enjoying a romantic moment. The surrounding atmosphere was unusually peaceful and quiet. Baek Mugun turned and looked at her with tender eyes. He complimented her, "Miss Yun, you look truly beautiful and captivating tonight." Hearing this, Yun Isang's heart filled with joy. Her face blushed like a ripe tomato from embarrassment. She stammered shyly, "Young master, those words are so silly." But Wu Jun cut her off, asserting, "I'm only expressing my sincerest feelings from the bottom of my heart." She replied with a radiant smile, "Today you, young master's words are truly powerful and imposing." All this time, no one could defeat the Hai Long Bang. Wu Jun humbly replied, "This achievement is thanks to the efforts of everyone in the Jianmen." She smiled happily, her eyes filled with joy. "You look so heroic right now," she giggled and said. "You've truly transformed into a completely different person compared to 3 years ago." But Wu Jun's next words caught her off guard, leaving her frozen. The air suddenly became awkward. He said, "Back then, I was just a young man, not worthy of marrying the young miss." His decision to break off the engagement with her. It was understandable. Yanni remained silent for a long moment. She lowered her head, trying to hold back the tears that welled up. But why was it so hard? She sobbed, her voice choked with emotion. "Young master, it was all my fault. Your anger is justified. I am but a weak woman without resolve. I deeply regret my rash decision that day. No matter how much you resent me, I vow to follow you forever." Baek Mugun felt a surge of emotion upon hearing her sincere words. He placed a hand on her shoulder and slowly spoke his decision. "Lady Yin, I am truly sorry. I cannot reciprocate your feelings. It's not that I don't care for you, but I must shoulder the responsibilities of the sword sect. As the eldest son of the Baek family sword sect, if I continue this broken engagement, the reputation of the sword sect and the merchant guild will be significantly affected." Sona burst into tears, sobbing, I don't care about those things." Baek Mugun gently placed his hand on her shoulder, comforting her. "Am I comforting you, or are you comforting me? At this moment, we can't let personal feelings cloud our judgment. Although it's regrettable, it's the responsibility of a leader." She looked at him, tears streaming down her face, unable to speak. Tears continued to roll down her flushed cheeks. "It's done." He pulled her tightly into his arms, tenderly comforting her. "Although we can't be together now, I promise you one thing. The Becca Sword School and the Yunga Merchant Guild will maintain a cooperative relationship forever. He spoke with sincerity, tears welling in his eyes. Then they embraced tightly, sharing warmth and love under the dim light of the quiet night. The next morning, young, powerful men are brimming with energy during their grueling week of training. They diligently hone their strength with high-intensity exercises. The clang of weights and synchronized shouts create a powerful symphony. A young man, with intense focus, exerts all his strength to lift a heavy weight. He mutters words of encouragement, pushing himself beyond his limits. Others are working on their chiseled abs. They use ropes to tie weights to their waists and use their core strength to pull themselves up in the barracks. A friend observes with admiration and exclaims, "What an amazing training method." Baek Mu-gun smiles in response. These are just the most basic physical training exercises. But up until now, the Baekga Sword School's training methods are the best in Wonjo. This prefecture is somewhat safe now, so we can rest a little easier. The Baekga Sword School in Wonjo has overcome countless hardships in the Jianghu, he shares, and maintained its position. We must eliminate laziness, quickly reorganize our ranks, and fully stabilize our formation. It's a formation of professional swordsmen, with unwavering discipline and composure. Baek Mu-gun's eyes shone with unwavering determination and confidence. He declared boldly to the martial artists, their hearts filled with passion and ambition, that they would become even stronger, thanks to the rigorous and systematic training of the Baekga Sword School. Muoke stood beside him, his eyes filled with admiration. He exclaimed, "As expected of you, brother, always doing such extraordinary and meaningful things." Mu-gun ruffled Muoke's hair and replied with a smile, "That's right. I can't let you see me weak. Especially not disappoint your expectations, Muoke." He continued, "The first steps of the Baekga Sword School are also in their beginning stages." Muoka responded, "Yes," and together they continued walking. Suddenly, Yang Yi appeared before them. She bowed slightly and greeted them. "Greetings, young master. I humbly request, on behalf of the Yoon family's upper set, to make a request to the White Wolf Sword Team." Baek Mu-gun calmly said, "I anticipated this." He clasped his hands formally and replied, "On behalf of the Baekga Sword School, we accept the request to provide aid to the Yoon family's upper set." She blushed, too shy to look him in the eye. He gently turned his head away and said softly, "Thank you, young master. We'll discuss this in more detail later." With that, she turned and continued walking. Mu-osi asked curiously, "What did you mean about providing aid?" He replied, "Exactly. We'll be helping the Yoon family's upper guild export their goods, all the way to Nanjing. What do you think? Want to come along?" Mu-osi's eyes lit up, and he answered resolutely, "Yes, I definitely want to go with you." The two continued walking together, filled with excitement. Inside a room, Yunhon was talking with Baek Mu-gun. Mu-gun was requesting his support for the Baek Wolf Sword Team. Mu-gun said, "That's right. We'll dispatch the Baek Wolf Sword Team to provide support. Unfortunately, I'm afraid I won't be able to participate in this support mission. I have another, more important task. It's about restructuring the Baekga Sword School's sword team." Yang Hon cheerfully replied, "No problem, brother. This is the task you entrusted to me. Besides, I don't understand why Brother Magian would personally escort us like this. Just a little curious is all. Because the Hei Ryong clan has been completely wiped out." Magian praised him. "That's a sharp question." He put his hand on his chin, a serious expression on his face. "First of all, a group of people set sail and mysteriously disappeared in Hei Ryong clan territory. It must have been the work of the Saabang." Yang Hon replied, "I understand. They're an incredibly powerful force, with countless martial arts experts. But the Hei Ryong clan, compared to the Saabang, is like a firefly flickering before the blazing sun." He continued to share, "It was originally one of the precepts. The martial arts tournament is held at Mount Xiang in Zhejiang province. It's rumored that this event will eventually merge with the Zhongwu men, creating a grand martial arts gathering." Wu Jun recalls images of powerful warriors, armed with swords and blades, brimming with fighting spirit. He speaks with a thoughtful tone. Now that the threat of the Hailong Bang has been completely eliminated, the Baijiajin men can roam freely in the Jianghu. Therefore, regarding this invitation to the martial arts tournament, we can no longer ignore it. Wu Jun places his hand on the table, his voice thick with emotion. "Furthermore, Miss Yang assisted us in our recent mission. Therefore, we should reciprocate with a corresponding gesture of goodwill. In the future, we need to maintain a close relationship with the Un family's upper echelon. And actually, I have an even more important purpose. Jiang Huan speaks up curiously. A more important purpose? What is it? Mugun silently turned and walked away. As he walked, he spoke, "From now on, our Becca sword school will leave Wenzhou and enter the dangerous world of Jianghu." He handed a precious item to Yang Hon with these instructions. "Return to the Becca sword school. Don't hesitate. Focus on reorganizing the sword unit. As father instructed, the secret martial arts techniques and the inner core. I entrust all of it to you." Yang Hon joyfully accepted the command, replying, "I will ensure the Becca Sword School is well taken care of." Mugun's voice deepened. "I may be accused of being unfilial, but all of this is for the survival of the Becca Sword School. Only then can we rise to power in this vast Jianghu." With that, he set off into the martial world. At Mount Xiang in Zhejiang province, Mugun happened upon Yong Ho Jian. Upon seeing his friend, he called out excitedly. Ho Jian shook Mugun's hand with a hearty laugh. "You rascal, Mugun. It's been years since we last met. I thought you'd kick the bucket. But here you are, grinning like a fool." Mugun retorted, "And you seem to have put on a few pounds." Ho Jian defensively flexed his arm. Hey, these are muscles, you know." Mugun laughed, teasing him. "You call those muscles? With those, you should be the top martial artist in Zhejiang. But you're still lazy and all talk. It's good to see the Mugun I know is back. In my eyes, you've always been a generous and forthright guy, always laughing and talking. Mugun, don't pretend you don't know me anymore. Come on, let's have a few drinks." The two friends went to a small restaurant for lunch. They ordered some good wine, eating and chatting. Mugun confided, "I didn't expect the Zhang Mu clan to step in directly and offer such strong support." Ho Jian, enjoying his food and drink, replied, "It's all about the money. These days, without money, even a righteous sect like the Geometry clan would struggle to survive." He pointed his chopsticks at Mugun and said, "I'm talking to you. The one they call the ultimate master, the destroyer of the Hailong leaderboard, renowned throughout the land. How can I help you? You're in dire need of my powerful assistance, aren't you?" You could still laugh. Beck Mugun was momentarily speechless. What illusion do you think this guy is lost in? I bet this kid. Did you follow Eunice all the way here? As if following the call of love? Beck Mugun awkwardly confessed. "The engagement between me and Miss Yang has been broken off. It's not what you think." Hearing this, Hyugen became enraged. He slammed his hand on the table and said, "Marriage is a serious matter. Is it necessary that every relationship between a man and a woman must lead to marriage? I guess. So you intend to expand the Becca swordsmanship school into... Is there some hidden meaning in the way you two are staring at each other?" Wu Jun replied, dismissing it as mere speculation. Then, Hyugen let out a hearty laugh, saying he agreed with the sentiment regardless. He paused thoughtfully. "If it were you, the Becca Sword School would surely flourish. Under the protection of the ruler of Hangzhou, the Bi-Sword Villa would be crushed in an instant, and you would ultimately become the Wulin Alliance leader of Taijiang, standing above all." Mao Osi looked puzzled by their conversation. The young boy lowered his head in thought. As night fell, both Wu Jun and Mao Osi stood guard. "You don't need to stay up with me," Wu Jun said. Mao Osi remained engrossed in his book. "I can't just sit still anyway," he replied. His voice choked. "I couldn't fight alongside you, so I want to be here with you now." Wu Jun placed a hand on the boy's shoulder. "Your strategies have helped me greatly," he said gently. "You shouldn't compare yourself to anyone else. Brother, I truly apologize for not spending more time with you. My dear junior brother, from now on, let's cherish every precious moment we have together, okay?" The young boy, touched, shed tears. Wu Jun, resting his chin on his hand, asked him kindly, "All right, I have some good news to share with you. The real reason I came to Nanjing." The boy's eyes lit up. He quickly replied, "Yes?" Wu Jun slowly said, "This has to do with your special talent, your amazing descriptive ability." He began to tell the story. In the dangerous world of martial arts, a mysterious force is secretly gathering information on the 10 greatest martial arts masters, and even the enlightened immortals. They call themselves the Hang No Men. They also possess an organization specializing in collecting and analyzing top secret information. It's called the Thousand Secrets Pavilion. If someone were to possess the information they have, their power would surpass even the 7 great clans combined. And the Thousand Secrets Pavilion is currently located in Jinling. The purpose of this journey to Jinling is to find the Thousand Secrets Pavilion, and hopefully we can receive their support. The boy exclaimed in surprise. There really is such a mystical organization, but how can we find them and convince them to cooperate? He added, Jijin, who saved me from chi deviation, once arranged a refuge for me at the Thousand Secrets Pavilion. So I will entrust you with the responsibility of contacting them. Then he recounted the story of his chi deviation. Compared to my past life, it's only been 35 years. Perhaps we might encounter Chion Yuwa again. Therefore, we are bound by a karmic connection from a past life. This is the first time. The next morning, they arrived in Jinling. Hyugen stretched lazily. He said, we arrived safely without any trouble. Mugun asked, were you hoping for something to happen? He turned to Mugun and replied, not really. I'm just a little bored. Mugun softly said, are you always this distracted? Besides, I'm different from you. I have a lot of responsibilities. I'll be going on a trip. I might be gone for a few days. You don't have to wait for me. Take good care of yourselves. The team replied in unison, travel safe. Fujian spoke up, worried. Hey, where are you going alone today? Mugun replied, I'm sorry, but I have some personal business to attend to. His friend, standing beside him, slung an arm around Mugun's shoulder. At least let me come with you. We're teammates, after all. Mugun bluntly refused. No way. Angered, the other man was kicked aside by Mugun. Mugun walked alone towards the Thousand Secrets Pavilion. He thought to himself, 35 years have passed. The Thousand Secrets Pavilion has changed a lot. While strolling around, he suddenly noticed a group of masked figures jumping down from the rooftop. He watched in astonishment as they tied up a young woman. It was Dan Seol. She moaned in pain. He growled menacingly, if you don't want things to get worse, hand over the Heavenly Master to me. Your struggles are useless. Resistance is futile. She responded without flinching. I'd rather die than hand over the Heavenly Master to your evil kind. The leader scoffed. Your loyalty is admirable but foolish. Don't blame me for what happens next. Kill her. Fearlessly, she drew her sword, its sharp edge pointed directly at them. Dan Seoyong fought bravely, when suddenly a young man, wielding a shield, appeared and protected her. Surprise flickered in her eyes as she looked at the stranger. The leader roared, Who are you, you wretch? The newcomer was none other than Baek Mugun. He calmly replied, Me? Just a humble gentleman passing by. With that, he charged into the fray, his extraordinary strength sending them flying. Blinding flashes of lightning crackled and struck the ground. The two sides clashed fiercely, neither willing to yield. But the enemies couldn't withstand the young man's powerful attacks. Thick black smoke billowed, choking them, collapsed unconscious to the ground. Wu Jun rushed to her side, anxiously asking, Miss, are you all right? She opened her eyes slightly, staring at him and stammering, You aren't you. Chion Yuwa fainted in Seola's arms. In this moment, he realized she was the Chion Yuwa from all those years ago. He moved closer to her, his eyes filled with love. That night, Wu Jun and Seol helped her back to her room to rest. Their faces were etched with worry for her. They watched her silently, speechless. Wu Jun couldn't hide his anxiety. He burst out angrily. What in the world happened? Why is the Chion master in this condition? Seola confessed. Traitors. The master was poisoned by them. The Chion secret sect was attacked. The situation within the sect must be chaotic right now. Countless brothers sacrificed themselves to protect the Chion secret sect. We were lucky to escape. She gently wiped the sweat from the Chion master's forehead, her touch tender and loving. Silent tears streamed down her cheeks. Wu Jun gently placed a hand on her shoulder, comforting her. Miss, please, calm yourself. He extended his hand, and the aura of the thunder god blazed forth, like lightning ripping through the night. With unwavering determination, he said, I will help you. Wiping away her tears, she hesitantly spoke. This is the power of the thunder god. Could it be that you are? A moment later, she bowed respectfully. I have been disrespectful, allowing you to witness me in such a state. Descendant of the thunder god. Please forgive my tardiness in greeting you properly. I am Shuang, young mistress of the Heavenly Secret Guild. He returned the gesture. I am by Wu Jun. Let me assess your situation, Mississippi. His gaze met hers, his voice deepening. Truly, a breathtaking beauty, a goddess descended from the heavens. A shared blush arose as they stared at each other, time seeming to freeze. Shuang spoke shyly. If you admire my appearance so much, there will be time enough to gaze upon it later. Our top priority right now is healing the sect leaders. Mu-Won exclaimed in a flustered tone. Oh right, their wedding ceremony was 7 days ago. Mu-Won quickly went to Lu Hua's side and used his thunder god power to heal her. He declared, the heavenly sect leader has been poisoned by the soul withering death blossom. The death blossom mark on her forehead is spreading every day. Seol asked worriedly, is there any way to cure her? He firmly replied, of course there is. Please do not disturb me. I need to focus all my energy. He utilized the heavenly thunder transformation divine art, channeling lightning energy to heal Lu Hua. She reacted to the intense current of heavenly thunder, moaning softly before gradually feeling her body relax. Mu-Won breathed a sigh of relief. She's out of danger now. However, she is still very weak. Please take good care of her until she fully recovers. Seol respectfully replied, yes, this servant is eternally grateful for your grace. He suddenly asked, where was the heavenly secret sect attack? She suddenly remembered and hurriedly replied, it was in the outskirts of Nanjing. The place is called the Thousand Blossom Pavilion. Why do you ask? He smiled and replied, if I'm going to help, I might as well see it through. A thought struck him, urging him to go there personally and assess the situation. Seol Young hastily tried to stop him. She asked worriedly, are you planning to go there alone? That place is extremely dangerous, filled with top-tier experts, she said with unease in her voice. His eyes shone with determination. He reassured her, don't worry. Gritting his teeth, he said coldly, whoever dares to stand in my way, I will crush them. At Chanhua Pavilion, Gangyo was merrily chatting with beautiful women. Outside, regardless of day or night, guards stood on strict watch, protecting the fortress. Mu-Gun had reached the city walls, concealed in the ominous shadows. He silently climbed inside a room. Gangyo asked, is that the leader? They don't look ordinary, he remarked. Standing outside, Mu-Gun pondered thoughtfully. This is difficult. If it were just the leader alone, I would be completely confident in succeeding in this raid. But with these other guys, I'm afraid it might be a bit troublesome. Should I unleash the Thunder God's descent? No, it's not possible. My inner strength is not yet profound enough to execute such a divine technique. Inside the Ganhyo Tavern, laughter and merriment still filled the air. Outside, the warrior Mu-Gun whispered, the heavens have provided. Now is the time. Ganhyo remained engrossed in pleasure inside, completely unaware of the events unfolding around him. Suddenly, Mu-Gun charged forward, striking the roof with a powerful palm, collapsing it. The commoners, the servants inside, were all terrified and confused by the sudden chaos. Mu-Gun, wielding the power of the Thunder God's shield, charged inside, leaving Ganhyo wide-eyed in astonishment. He recognized with horror the technique Mu-Gun was using, the Five Thunders consecutive strike. It was aimed directly at him. Struck by the violent current of the Five Thunders consecutive strike, Ganhyo collapsed to the ground. Mu-Gun coldly watched Ganhyo writhe in agony, his body paralyzed. After defeating the rightful Path sect leader, Mu-Gun paused. He thought to himself, what kind of martial art was that? Suddenly, two burly men rushed in, shouting, Sect leader, are you all right? Without hesitation, Mu-Gun hurled his shield into the man's face, then lunged forward in a relentless attack. He swiftly took down two of Yu Sung's subordinates, sending blood splattering across the room. However, Mu-Gun was still deeply troubled. The martial art that man just used was the Azura Blood Jade Palm, a secret technique of a Nine Heavens demonic cult. Each of the 9 sects of a Nine Heavens demonic cult possesses a unique martial art. This is the Azura sect's technique from 35 years ago. I thought I had annihilated them all, leaving no survivors. Unexpectedly, remnants of this demonic cult still remain. Could it be that the Nine Heavens demonic cult has been revived? His mind in turmoil, Mu-Gun suddenly unleashed a deadly strike. The earth-shattering power caused everything around him to tremble violently. The two girls standing nearby screamed in terror. Only then did Mu-Gun remember there were others present. He approached them and said in a reassuring voice, I was sent by the Heavenly Master. The Heavenly Master is safe now. Don't worry too much. The words startled the young woman, surveying the devastation left by the fierce battle. Mu-Won thought to himself, first, I need to clean up this battlefield. Wrong. They've been completely wiped out. There's no one left alive to even greet. Who were they? Where did they come from? Suddenly, Mu-Won spotted a wooden tablet on one of the enemy bodies. He wondered, what is this? Scene change. Seola's group joyfully rushed over. Is everyone all right? The two girls exclaimed in unison. Elder sister, young sect master, Seola approached Muwon, her face solemn as she bowed her head slightly and said, "Thank you, young Master Beck, for your assistance. I don't know how to repay your kindness." Muwon replied, "So, doing good deeds does get rewarded, huh?" Seola responded shyly, "Yes." Muwon suddenly scratched his head in embarrassment and asked, "Miss, could you perhaps prepare a meal for me? Fighting takes a lot of energy. I'm so hungry I'm about to faint." Hearing this, Shuang burst into a melodious laughter. "I understand. Please wait a moment." A maid standing behind couldn't help but feel indignant. "How dare you order our miss around?" Fortunately, another maid quickly stopped her. Shortly after, Shuang personally prepared a plate of fragrant black pepper braised pork for Wu Jun. Wu Jun exclaimed with delight, "I will definitely savor every bite." He then picked up the plate and ate with gusto and relish. Seeing this, Shuang said with slight embarrassment, "Young master, please eat slowly." In the blink of an eye, the plate of pork was completely gone. He cheerfully said to Miss Duan, "It was truly exquisite. This is the first time I've tasted something so delicious." Shuang smiled and replied, "You are too kind, young master." Suddenly, Wu Jun remembered something. "Oh no, I've made a mistake again." His words greatly surprised Shuang. Wu Jun stood up and said, "I should have savored it slowly, so we can enjoy this delicious feast and admire the exquisite beauty of a new lady." Shuang pouted slightly and told the young woman that the young master was always flirting with everyone. "Isn't that right? I never expected that. Lei Shin Sr. would be such a flirtatious man." Just then, the blonde-haired girl rushed in and announced, "Young sect master! Sect master has awakened." Shuang hurriedly went to check on the sect master. Lu Hua bowed respectfully and softly said, "Greetings, sect master of the Tian Mi sect. I am Tian Lu Hua. I request an audience with Lei Shen Sr. Young master, your great kindness in saving our Tian Mi sect deserves our deepest gratitude." Suddenly, Wu Jun replied in a deep voice, "I was merely fulfilling an old promise I made to Lei Shan." Looking at Lu Hua before him, Wu Jun thought to himself, "She's still as beautiful as ever. Her appearance hasn't changed at all." Suddenly, Chion Raiwa looked up with a knowing smile. "How strange. Young master, you don't seem to share the same bloodline as the young master from Guiyang. That young master was also a senior of the Thunder God. But every time I look at your face, I can't help but be reminded of his." Hearing this, Mu Gon sighed inwardly, thinking to himself, "Even though I've gone through countless reincarnations and reunited with a past life connection, it still pains my heart." He then spoke, "Alliance leader Chion, those who dare to attack the Heavenly Secret Alliance are disciples of the Shura sect belonging to the Nine Heavens demonic cult." Raiwa couldn't help but gasp. The Nine Heavens demonic cult. Mugon continued, "Those who raided the Heavenly Secret Alliance used the martial arts of the Shura sect. I fear the Nine Heavens demonic cult has resurfaced." This news was truly shocking. Raiwa stroked her chin and exclaimed, "This is a grave matter. If the Nine Heavens Divine Gate truly returns, they will surely infiltrate the righteous factions, hiding and waiting for the opportune moment." Mugon's resolve hardened even further. Determination filled his heart. "If that's truly the case, I will eradicate them completely, leaving no one alive. Them, their accomplices, and even their underlings. This is the mission entrusted to me by Senior Lei Shan." Yuhua suddenly spoke, her voice filled with determination. "The Heavenly Secret Sect swears we will dedicate all our strength and wholeheartedly assist you, young master." Mugon bowed his head slightly in response. "Thank you, miss. I gratefully accept the Heavenly Secret Sect's kindness." All right. The leader of the attack on Thousand Blossom Pavilion left behind a memorial tablet like this. "Do you recognize what this is, sect leader?" Yuhua accepted the tablet and carefully examined it. She immediately recognized it as a memorial tablet of the Sima clan. The Sima clan in Jiangzhou. This clan has risen to prominence very quickly in the last 15 years. In truth, this is the mysterious clan that the Heavenly Secret Pavilion has been secretly investigating. The origin and identity of this clan are deeply shrouded in secrecy. Therefore, no one knows about their mysteriously rapid growth. Hearing this, Muwon's face paled in shock. If that's the case, could it be? Yuhua furrowed her brows, venturing a guess. It must be the Nine Heavens demonic sect. They are being secretly supported by the Sima clan. They must have discovered that the Heavenly Secret Pavilion was secretly investigating and gathering information on them, so they silenced them to eliminate any loose ends. Mu-Won suddenly stood up and raged. That's exactly it. Those bastards. I will immediately. Yua hurriedly stopped him. Wait, young master, please calm down. The Sima clan is a powerful martial arts clan. They are even powerful enough to threaten the position of the 7 great clans. Confronting them will not be easy. Even Seola agreed with this viewpoint. That's right. To expose their crimes, we need concrete evidence that the 9 Heavens Divine Gate is backing them. If we continue attacking like this, we will not only fail to receive aid from the martial world, but will end up having to confront them ourselves. Hearing this, Wu Jun replied melancholily, I know, I was too hasty. Suddenly, Seola remembered something and spoke up. All right, come to think of it. Among the information the Sky Secrets Pavilion gathered, there was something related to the Sima clan. Perhaps based on this, we can easily approach the Sima clan. Meanwhile, at the Sima clan estate, after hearing the head butler's report, Sima Jungyip, clan leader Sima Jungyong couldn't help but be startled. What nonsense are you talking about? The flying division has been annihilated. This information came from the Sky Secrets Pavilion, sir. Jungyip hastily replied. We have officially confirmed. The deaths of the flying division master and Sima Wu both were caused by a single individual. All confidential intelligence gathered from the Heavenly Secret Pavilion has vanished without a trace. Even the courtesans at the 1,000-flower brothel have disappeared. Fortunately, we have a few clues remaining from the attack. Zhongjing is currently in a state of furious rage. Who is audacious enough to interfere in our affairs? He immediately ordered, find this person for me. Quickly, hunt down all members of the Heavenly Secret Pavilion and that bastard who dared to cross me. My grand plan will not be ruined by these rats. The scene changes to Wu Jun and Seol on their way to the lair of the Medicine King. Seol despite being drenched in sweat, still wears a determined smile. I'm all right. I am a martial artist. This hardship is nothing. I'm perfectly fine, she replied. Vo Quan observed her, a subtle smile playing on his lips. He thought that even though she hadn't complained, traveling nonstop for such a long period must have left her exhausted. So, Vo Quan decided to sit down and turned to Tuedon. I'm feeling a bit tired, he said. Shall we rest here for a moment? Tuedon responded cheerfully. Yes, of course. A moment later, curiosity piqued her. Are we going the right way? She asked. Don't worry, Vo Quan reassured her. Just follow this path, and we'll definitely reach our destination. I've heard that the scenery in Sundong is breathtakingly beautiful. Indeed, it is, he agreed. Please forgive me, she said. It's been so long since I've had the chance to travel like this, so I'm a little overexcited. Vo Quan smiled in response. It's all right, Mississippi. I'm also very happy to see you so joyful. Tuet-on shyly lowered her head and replied, I am the young master of the renowned Tian Mi Ge, responsible for overseeing all activities within the martial arts world. But as a courtesan of the magnificent Tian Hua Lu, I've never had the chance to enjoy such breathtaking natural beauty. I'm like a frog in a well, my knowledge limited. I don't understand why my heart is pounding so erratically. It's quite embarrassing. Hearing this, Wu Jun comforted her. Later, I will take you on a journey to countless beautiful places. Miss Duan, the reason Wu Jun and Shuiying are traveling together this time is because during our previous discussion, Shuiying mentioned that the leader of the Shandong Shanghui, Shangwan Qing, has an only daughter named Shangwan Baiha. She is the cause of the conflict between the 2 great clans, Huangbao and Sima, because she is betrothed to both prestigious families. That's where all the trouble began. Mu Gun stroked his chin thoughtfully and said, the Sima clan has the hidden backing of the Suram clan. They're lurking, waiting for the opportune moment to seize control of the Shandong Merchant Guild. The Wangbo clan is involved as well. Seol added, making the situation even more chaotic. Seol continued, however, something unexpected happened. The young lady of the Sangwon family has run away with another man. Seol's words surprised Mugun. What? Mugun exclaimed. Seol continued, that man is John Wu, a young physician whose clinic the Shandong Merchant Guild has been funding. That's where they met. It was through that connection that they became acquainted. His family name is John Wu, which means he must be from the Yakwang family. the clan famous for crafting divine artifacts. Hearing this, Mu Gun chuckled softly. What a fortunate young lady. Coincidentally, I was also planning a visit to the Medicine King's Valley after finishing my business at the Heavenly Secrets Pavilion. But I never expected things to become this complicated. It's as if that AI had plotted this all along, Siola said with a worried tone. Initially, the Heavenly Secrets Pavilion's mission was simply to gather 10 pieces of information. The discovery of 9 demonic gate angels backed by the Sima clan, wreaking havoc and acting tyrannically, forced us to take action. We can use this opportunity to expose the Sima clan's true nature. That's what I was thinking, Wu Jun praised endlessly. What a brilliant strategy. Miss Stone, worthy of being the young pavilion master of the Heavenly Secrets Pavilion. Admiration welled up in Wu Jun's heart. Despite being ambushed, she remained calm and unafraid. Truly a courageous and resourceful young lady. Hearing Vo Quan's words, Tuet-on blushed slightly. Young master, you flatter me. Vo Quan immediately replied, not at all, Miss Tuet-on. I'm being sincere. I still have much to learn from you. Lu Hoa, sitting beside them, witnessed their friendly exchange and gave a knowing smile. Suddenly, Vo Quan stood up and declared, according to Miss Tuet-on, we cannot allow those from the Tu La Mon sect to reach the Medicine King. Tuet-on quickly asked, must we depart immediately? Vo Quan affirmed, indeed, we cannot miss this opportunity. For now, the two of you should continue to lie low. After all, the people of Zhejiang have always been friendly towards those from Wenzhou. Hearing this, Tuet-on couldn't help but look worried. Lu Hoa then said, I will obey young master's words. But as for managing the Thousand Secrets Pavilion, I can handle it alone. Therefore, I have a request for young master. Please allow Tuet-on to accompany you. Back in the present, Vo Quan was suddenly overcome with a sense of unease. He worriedly wondered, I wonder if everyone at the Thien Mat Kak is safe right now. I'm truly worried about them. Tuet-on, sitting beside him, quickly reassured him, please rest assured, we've prepared meticulously for every worst-case scenario. On the contrary, what I'm worried about is whether the young lady and her beloved will actually choose to take this path. Vo Quan lay back and asserted confidently, I'm certain they'll take that path, because it's the safest route that Tien Vu could come up with. Hearing this, Tuet-on couldn't help but exclaim with admiration. He truly is intelligent and insightful. I don't know if it's due to excessive confidence or not, but the young master always exudes absolute self-assurance. Just then, from afar, came the sound of panting and hurried footsteps. Someone ran to Vo Quan and breathlessly reported, they're here, making Tuet-on incredibly surprised. Really? They've already encountered each other so quickly. Wu Jun asked, are you two Master Qianyu and Miss Shangwan? Suddenly, his expression changed and rage flared in his eyes. With lightning speed, he pulled the young woman into a protective embrace. Behind them, a group of Huang Baosheng's men, in hot pursuit, closed in. Finally caught you, one of Huang Baosheng's men shouted. Miss Shangwan, I am Huang Baosheng, he announced. From the Huang Bao family. We've been entrusted by Grand Master Shangwan to bring you back, so please come with us quietly. Hearing the name Huang Baosheng, Wu Jun flew into a rage. Huang Bao, so it's you treacherous dogs who betrayed me in my past life? He gritted his teeth. Miss Shangwan cried out resolutely. Master Qianyu and I have sworn an oath to be together for all eternity. Even after 100 years, my heart will not change. I will absolutely not go back. Bao Sheng sighed. Miss, you're being too stubborn. Then he ordered his men, bring her back to me.